going to show you how my photos come. And I get mine done by persnickety, and it's because they already have a template that you can just stick your 3x4 photos into and adjust it so the bleeding is adjusted so you don't lose any of your photo. So this is April through the end of June. And so, let's see, I'll flip them over. Yeah, okay. So here's April. And so you can see that it comes in two different things. I've got my my journaling down here, my photos, and then if you can see that it has the date. So all I have to do is grab my trimmer, stick it in, and it's already adjusted to fit, because you know some of your photos you usually have to adjust the size. It's already adjusted like that, except for sometimes, like right then, I missed some of the middle. And there you go. Here's April 2nd and April 3rd. And then I just pick up the next one. Now, the nice thing about the app is, like, some days I don't take any pictures, and other days I take... Now there is, I'll show you really quick, on this side, can you see how there's a little bit of white there, and I go ahead and trim that off because that's part of the problem with the measuring of the pages. But so, like, I didn't have one for April 1st, but I had April 2nd. And then all of these, plus this one, these are all April 3rd. And again, that goes back to your method of doing Project Life. If you know that you aren't going to be able to be successful at doing a photo a day, don't set yourself up for failure. If you want to do the weekly approach and you can do a photo a day, that's fine. I can't do it. There's no way. I've tried. It doesn't happen. So for me, it was more important to just get the pictures done that I could for the days that I could. I'm still doing the weekly approach unless I see that that's going to kind of bog me down as the months go on. But, you know, you got to do it the way that fits you. So I'm doing the weekly approach, but I might not have a photo for every day of the week. I may only have 2 photos for that week. And if that happens, then I'll do exactly what I did before, and I will, you know, just stick a couple weeks on a layout. Now, the other thing that I will mention is the first few months, because I kind of alliterated, or I kind of talked about this before. The first few months, I didn't have a ton of photos. Now, as the year went on, we were doing more activities, more fun things, and I took a lot more photos. And so there may be some weeks where I have hardly any filler cards, and I just have my week in review card and my title card, and all my journaling gets put on my week in review card along with the journaling on the photos. And that was what I liked about having this app, is because I could do that. So I just keep going through. I cut them all down. My little girl is waking up, so I'm going to have to go. But I cut them all down and I put them in the page protector. So the next installment will be up shortly, and I'm going to actually take you through the way that I incorporate these into the page protectors, my thought process behind it all, and just show you how quick and easy it is. So I hope you enjoy. Leave comments below. Thanks for all your support. Bye-bye. Hi, and welcome back to the second installment of my Getting Caught Up with Project Life series. And you can see the first video for how I've gotten to this point, my method, the photo app that I use to get my photos from, and so far. So what I'm going to do in this video is just take you through setting up my week. Now, this is before I do any embellishing, anything like that, just my process for getting the photos in the protectors. So what I do is I do my weeks Monday through Sunday. That way the whole weekend is included. So what I do first of all is I look at my calendar and I figure out which dates are in that week. And I just take a little piece of paper and I write the week number. So this is week 14, and I know that it is, April 1st through April 7th. And I just take that and then I stick it in the title card spot. And I do that for all of the weeks. And I already have these written down, so go through and I stick them down so that I can see them. Now this can change. Once I start adding in my photos, I might see that I need to combine weeks 16 and 17, and then the dates will change. But this just helps me to see when I flip to that 2-page spread which dates I'm working on. Alright, so then I'm back to week 14. I cut out I trimmed all of my April photos down, and you can see it's quite a, you know, a large stack. But I trimmed them all down. And then I will go through and I will see how many photos I have for this week. And for this one I have quite a few. Okay. So this is all of my photos for this week. So what might happen as I go through, I'm just going to start laying them out. Okay, so I can see that I could completely fill this side with photos and I could almost fill this side. But I'd like to have at least one type of embellishment card on each side. So the first thing that I'll do is, I know that I don't want to get rid of any of these photos because they all tell part of the story. So I am going to decide which day, like where there's a break, and where I would like this embellishment card to go, and I think that one's going to be right there. And then I can just move my photos around until I figure out where I'd like my break on this side. And I think I would like to keep it, let's see, around the same, let's see. I guess I could technically have 2 spots for embellishments on each side. So I'll leave those there, I'll move that back up there. Okay. So 3, 4, make sure. And it's quick and easy to just look at the dates on the card and figure out where you can put your embellishments. So I'm going to do it here. Have an embellishment card here and here. And then on this side, let's see, I'll have one. I think I'll use these 2 pages. So then what I do, I just stick the cards in their homes. Trying to remember where I said. Is it there? Yeah, well, even if it wasn't, I like that. So I could use, whenever I say embellishment cards, that means it could be a journaling card, it could be something with a simple embellishment on it, nothing crazy, just something to add some mix other than just photos. Now, if you didn't want to add that, and you liked the look of just having all photos on the page, well then by all means, do that. Remember, this is your project life, it's nobody else's. You're the one that's going to be looking at these memories later. Okay, then this side's a little bit easier. Now I'm going through this and I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to be doing any of the extra things. I'm just simply, for this video, putting in the photos. I'm getting them in so that you can see how quick this process actually goes. And if you remember in the last video, I said that I have way more photos for these 3 months than I did for the other, and it's going to make this a lot easier. Okay, so now I'm to the next week, and I know that this week is here. So, again, I'm laying out my photos, and I can already see that I'm going to need to do quite a bit more embellishing for this week, and that is fine with me. I don't have as many photos, so I know that I want one to go here. Actually, no. I want one to go here because I don't want whatever card I use to combat with the journaling. I want one to go here. And this is a good time for me to stop and think about the next week a little bit in advance. And the next week is the 15th through the 21st. Should I forgot one of these. So I would only have 2 photos for that week. So I can already tell you right now that I'm going to be combining a couple weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this here. This is 13. Oh, did I just skip a bunch? Nope. So I went straight from the 10th to the 13th without any photos being taken. Just adding these in. I'm going to purposefully skip this one. I'm going to come over here. And before I forget, I'm going to move this over into this. So now I can see that this is weeks 15 through 16. And here's the 22nd. Now, I only have 3 more photos for the end of the month. But it also goes over into May 5th. So I'm going to go over to my pile of photos. And I'm just going to take a quick look and see how many photos do I have between May 1st and May 5th. And it looks like I only have 4. So I'm just going to make the executive decision that, because I do like the layout, it being a 2-page spread, I want the title card here regardless. So what I can do is, I know I have 7 more photos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I add 1 more over here, then I could do what I'm trying to say, I could do 3 weeks on a layout, but for the sake of just adding some interest to my album, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave this like it is, and I'm going to have some embellishing to do, but I'm okay with that. Actually, this doesn't go here. This one down here. One thing that I did realize, if I'm going to leave huge gaps like this in my photos, the one thing that I want to try to allow to happen is to leave things like this, to where if I went back into my photos, if I had the time, and I, I was looking for another 4x6 photo, I could cut it in half and stick it in there. So now I've got, let's see, I'm going to take out 1 more over here. I think that's what I was working on. And then I got distracted. And I'm going to do 2 photos up in, I'm going to do this photo here. This one here. And this one here. So now my journaling card will go here, my week in review card, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces to fill, or 1 4x6 and 3 3x4 spaces. And over here, same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. That's not horrible. It'll take a little bit more time, but it's not horrible. So now I'm switching over here, and I'm just kind of taking these out and adding them where they go as I go. Alright, and I don't know if that helped or made it worse, but so now I'm on April 22nd through the 28th. And this is where I have just 2 photos. So again, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to combine that there. And then I joined the Studio Calico Project Life kit whenever it first began, and then I wasn't really, it was one of the impulse buys that I knew I wasn't going to use, but I just had to have it. Yeah, so, but the one thing that I got from the kit that I'm so glad that I did was, if I can find it here, the, here we go, the calendar cards. And that reminds me that I also need to pull out April's. tuck it in. Okay. So I can go back in and put April's in just a second. But this will be a great point of, you know, reference for where my week becomes May. So I'm going to quickly, and this is a real life process. This isn't me having everything staged and ready to go. This is working on the fly. I'm going to go ahead and trim off these photos because these are the ones that are going to end out this week, and I want to make sure that I can just fit them right in. Okay, these are in the correct order now. So I'm glad I did this because I again have very few photos to work with. So I am just, okay, so this is a perfect place to put my May card. There we go. So yeah, I'm just sticking these in. There they go. And as soon as I'm done, I will have all my photos in place and I can go in and begin my embellishing. Now, some of you may say, well, of course that didn't take you very long. You combined 2 weeks together 2 different times. But if you think about it, the very first week I didn't, and it took even less time because there was less thinking about it because I had the dates in front of me. I didn't have to think about which days to combine or where the month ended and a new one began. And I could just fit them in and deal with the logistics of where the cards were going to go as I went. So, you know, here I'm going to stick, I know right away, I'm going to put the April card right there because that's the month that we're in. And then, so I have 1, 2, 3 pages for April. And that took me, what, maybe 10 minutes-ish to get all those photos in there. So it's so simple and I am absolutely loving it. I mean, I know that through collecting the things on my phone, which I have, you know, I'll be showing you, or I've, you know, you've seen through the process of doing that and just keeping it simple and telling myself over and over and over again, this is supposed to be simple. It's not supposed to be elaborate. It's not supposed to be award-winning. It's your memories and I live a simple life. My life is not elaborate, so why should my project life be elaborate? So anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this and watching this process. I will be coming back with the 3rd installment, which is embellishing this, and that's a little bit more of the fun side, and I'll show you my weekend review cards, how I do those, and it just takes, you know, very minimal time. I can do all these at one time and get them printed off, and you know, so yeah. Alright, well, I hope that you are inspired so far. Maybe you've already started messing around with the app and figuring out if the system will work for you, and if it doesn't, that is great too. But yeah, your memories, just the important thing, get them documented, because one day someone's going to be so thrilled that they can open up a book and look at January 15th and see that they were not even a year old and that they loved looking at themselves in a mirror. So, alright, well, I will catch up with you later. Have a great day, guys. Bye.